It has come to my motherfucking goddamn gay attention that everybody is afraid that we about to go under martial law. Here to report the story live, everybody's motherfucking goddamn gay favorite, Bob from motherfucking goddamn gay Channel 8.
Reporting live from Spirit Wide Worldwide, Bob from Channel 8. Bob.
Social media platforms like TikTok have become fertile ground for unfounded theories that President Donald Trump will declare martial law on April 20th despite any supporting evidence. While a signed executive order has triggered some debate over a possible use of the Insurrection Act, there is no credible evidence or reporting that martial law is being considered anywhere in the United States. An executive order signed by President Donald Trump on Inauguration Day directs the Department of Defense and Department of Homeland Security to submit a report by April the 20th assessing the situation at the southern border and recommending whether to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807 for purposes of border enforcement. Reporting live, Bob from Channel 8. Reporting live, Bob from Channel 8. Reporting live, Bob from Channel 8.
Reporting live from Spirit Wide Worldwide, Bob from Channel 8. Bob.
What the hell was you doing?
Ooh, that's funny. Every time I start talking about the Republican Party, my sound effect board want to act crazy. But shout out to Bob, and I'll see if I can do what I can. Okay, so first and foremost, when I got this story sent to me in my DMs, I did have a heart-dropping moment. I did. And it wasn't because of me being afraid. It is because I felt the tone of the world being a bit sensitive when it comes to that. That was my empathy taking over, if you will. If you don't know what martial law is, it is when the government has full control of the military and they replace the police departments at the state level. General rights such as the Constitution, the freedom of speech, anything of that nature is stripped.
Is stripped. Is stripped.
I read MAGA or something like this, I think their spirits are protecting me from actually exposing the truth because something or a mishap always happens. Am I the only one who witnesses this? Anywho, martial law is when the government has full control of everything. Okay, basically they can strip your rights, they can illegally search and seize your belongings, they can pretty much do anything, and it has been evoked 60 times in the United States history. Insurrection Act of 1807 is a dated act. It's 200 years old, and it was used for a particular purpose in a particular instance. This is a loophole that Republicans found to do whatever the fuck they want to do with the border. And I feel like it is definitely... Well, the totality of what's happening right now is what Donald Trump has always done. Look over here at what I'm doing here while something else is being done behind the scenes. So I'm more afraid of what we don't see than what we actually do see. To give people a little level of political peace, and again, this comes from me actually doing the research and not just banking on what TikTok is telling me. Okay? He just can't initiate martial law. There are checks and balances that are going to have to be in place before that actually happens, and it has to be founded that it is indeed necessary to execute the mission at hand. It is not necessary to execute the mission at hand. At least I pray a federal or Supreme Court judge will actually declare that this is a not found reason to initiate martial law. The loophole is the 1807 Act, which is martial law-esque. It could lead to martial law, but also martial law has never been used to blanket the entire country. It is used in particular instances. So if martial law is to be used, it will be used directly at the border, and it's not going to affect states in which it is not necessary. Now, we're talking about Donald Trump here, so he loves power. So I think the fear involved with this is he's gonna wiggle as much as he can to get total power. But in my spirit, it is unfounded. But if it is the case, Korea, what's happening there now, they just impeached and locked up somebody who called for martial law in Korea. Client today said he's just looking for a reason for us to act crazy so that he can take total power. Another client of mine was talking about, well, the reason why he's trying to bring manufacturing back to the United States of America is, and people are losing their jobs, is because who the hell do you think is going to be doing all the work? Whole hyper vigilant thing on illegal immigrants, he's trying to get he's trying to get a labor force. And what we really need to be doing is looking at his relationship with El Salvador on a outside of political arena, because there has to be some type of deal there. Do you know how much money people get off of somebody being in prison? When I was talking to that prison bird who came up on that live video, he said $35 for a honey bun in that mother. So if inflation is like that in prisons and you continuously lock people up in El Salvador, we're benefiting El Salvador in some type of way. How is El Salvador going to benefit us? Y'all putting them into them goddamn packed ass work camps, and next thing you know, they in the factories. And simultaneously, you want to loosen the child labor laws in Florida where you're from? I see. Okay? And I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was right around the time when my black cat passed away, and I said that I had a dream on mushrooms. I was on psilocybin at the time. And I had a dream, and my mother called me on the phone, and I'm looking at the news, and I'm looking at the highway be packed, and she said, are you going to camp? I said, I ain't going to no damn camp. They're going to have to come get me. I think I bared witness to a possible future, but I am confessing that for me and my community, we don't walk by fear. We just walk in observance. And because I know if they have any type of mandate, whatever is going to occur in our lives is going to keep us safe and sanctified. Am I correct? While the nation goes crazy, we have peace. We are affirming our peace, but it's interesting to watch and not become emotionally invested into. Okay? I want you to know that one of the biggest spiritual truths that I have in my reality is that what you believe, so be it. I believe that I'm always going to be safe. I believe that I'm always going to be taken care of. And even in instances where I'm not, I'm always kept. I believe that my money is protected. I believe my fans are protected. I believe that everything that I work for is not in vain. I believe that my bank account is not determined by what I watch on TV. Before I read anything, I want you to have that seep into your consciousness and know that. Do not approach me with fear. Approach me with a curiosity of knowledge. What is really happening right now? And it's fear-mongering at its best. I miss political administrations who would clear a rumor like this up. But they're not going to clear a rumor like this up because you won the election on fear. Fear or a political scandal that had yet to be investigated. How do you win every single fucking swing state and the popular vote? And your best friend who is holding a political position that he didn't get voted to do is making decisions for me in my country. We are witnessing a coup. That's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing a guerrilla regime beast mode this shit. And honestly, I'm taking notes. You gotta study your opponent. You gotta see how the fuck are you doing it? How the fuck do you have all these felonies? And now you're about to have martial law power? That is not gonna affect nobody. My spirit says don't fear. I'll tell you, before I even pull cards on this, which I am, my spirit is literally telling me that this is a setup for a great enlightenment period. I think we need, as a people and as a globe, a universal foe. What unites people other than anger? And what unites people other than frustration? And the reason I say that is because it's a lesser energy that we all can relate to. I'll actually add anxiety in there, even though we're at war on anxiety right now. So while you sitting up here trying to fuel all this divisivism, you don't realize that you are the unifying factor. And it's only going to be one, you pull a trick, affect another group of white men. Affect another group of Caucasian men. Affect another one of them. Okay? And I promise you. But in terms of this, Marshall, and I'm not talking about Mathers, because at first I thought that's what y'all were talking about. But in terms of Marshall and his law, let's see what's going on.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Spirit, I already know. Can I read this? It says proceed with caution. There will be no martial law. I think is going to be very testy, though, especially going into June or the summer of 2025. I think he's going to push his power and what he is attempting to do very vigorously. I do believe that the public who is watching, which is what this card would represent, is actually going to become a lot more active as the summer months start to become upon us. And I do believe that for the first time, Donald Trump is not going to apologize, but I do feel like he's going to try to simmer the flames of what has been a burning MAGA movement since the inauguration. I do foresee Texas having a rebellious, lawful type of scratching of the head, combative energy when it comes to Trump. This also could be Louisiana. I feel like wherever the border states are, they're going to have a problem, and I think they're actually going to challenge the president. I did get wind that somebody predicted that Texas will secede from the United States of America. I did not get a declining feeling when I read that. Is Texas going to secede from the nation? Father Omen shows up upright. It's not off the table. I think are civil rights in jeopardy with this administration? We've seen the extent of what they're going to do right now. So, like, what these cards are making me feel like is that he's testing the waters. He's trying to see how far can I go without them running up on that golf course again. You know what I'm saying? While simultaneously Spirit with the Baron is upright, which is preparing us for the positive shift that is going to take place because of his appearance and or presence. People have asked me if I see him living and surviving his presidency. I've never seen him surviving his presidency. Saw the number 2 when I initially read the Donald Trump reading on his first term, and I said he would be taken out. I think that 2 meant second term. Okay. I think it meant second term. I think there's going going to be, and we're going to start to see the rise of the conflict with the public versus MAGA, especially June through August of 2025. I think his base is going to require him to be a bit stronger than what he is going to want to be, because a lot of pushback is going to come from this small regime that we've just been sitting back watch. And it's almost like watching a child be bad. Like, okay, until the belt actually comes out. And I feel like we're going to see the belt out in June of 2025. The number 2 is significant. Somebody said The Simpsons says April. Well, honey, The Simpsons was written by a prophetess. So I wouldn't doubt it, but I do feel like the conscious shift of we're not being tortured and observant, but we're active members participating in a rebellion starts to manifest in June of 2025. Viper also shows up upright. I think this isn't Melania, but a very strong female voice is going to come out of this. Is it Jasmine Crockett? By the way, she's a client. This is somebody with a lot of money, okay? This could be Oprah, to be honest with you. This is somebody with a lot of money, a lot of clout, and a lot of influence that does speak out against Donald Trump. And I think that that voice is enough to rally people. Is it Beyonce? It's not Beyonce, bitch, I thought. And is it, let's ask, is it the stock market? That is the start. Cyprus shows up upright. Yeah. I mean, when you start affecting people's money, let me be more clear. When you start affecting white men's money. And when I was down there at that Myrtle Beach and I was having them conversations with them Republicans who voted for him, they were starting to get upset. So I think we are about to see the change of tone. Less observant and more like, bitch, what? And as you can see, the protests have been vastly peaceful around the country. You know? And I definitely have to give a special shout out. Never met you as of yet, but I do have a connection to you. One of your cousins is a client of mine. Cory Booker. We still have our dignity. Well, I ain't gonna say our. I'm a moderate. I believe if it sound right, I'm right. I'm with it, you know. But the Democrats are starting to find a polished way to fight back, because in this social media ratchet era that we're in, Republicans got that down. We're going to need something different presented, and you also really, really, really need to hire a social media manager opposition. Trump and Elon Musk run their social media, it's relatable to us, to our generation, the future political office seat holders. Please figure that shit out. Ultimately, like I said in the midst before I started reading this, walk by faith, not by sight, and we indeed will be all right. Next reading.